Good afternoon and welcome back to Unbearable Reds. So today we're going to be looking into the transfer rumours surrounding Norwich City starlett Todd Cantwell and his links to Liverpool. But firstly, I want to have a little look into some of the other transfer news that we have coming out today regarding players leaving the club. First of all, youngster Brewster has joined Swansea on loan. I can only see this as being a good thing for the young lad. He's not been getting the game time he needs this season. With us playing so well, there isn't really a lot of minutes available where we can risk putting a young, untested Premier League, well, not even a Premier League player at the moment. He's an under-23s player for us. We can't risk throwing him in the league, so he needs game time to develop. So going to Swansea on loan, I can only see that being a good thing for him. If you look at the likes of Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham and Tomori at Chelsea, going down a division for a season or two, going on loan, getting game time and minutes has really helped them in their development. So I can only see this being a positive for Brewster. Also, our Brazilian player, Allan, he's been in our reserves for a number of years now. He's joined Atlético Mineiro in Brazil for roughly £3 million. I've seen reports of a little bit less, a little bit more. That fee can rise up to £5 million depending on performance clauses, etc, etc. I feel sorry for Allan. He signed for us a number of years ago. He's never played a game for Liverpool. Couldn't get the work permit. So I think this is probably what's going to be best for him at this point in his career. He needs to go and get games. He needs to go and just get on with his career. I wish him all the best of luck in Brazil with Atlético Mineiro. Reported that we put a 10% sell-on clause, so if Atlético Mineiro sell him on, we get 10% of that. Now, I would rather have seen Liverpool put a buyback clause in there because obviously we tried to keep him at the club, tried to get him a work permit, so we obviously rate the lad, and if he goes on to be a world beater, being able to just bring him back for 30 million would have been, well, in my opinion, would have been a good option, as opposed to him becoming world class. It's highly unlikely, but him going, becoming world class, and then him signing for fucking Tottenham or Chelsea or fucking Arsenal, and us losing out on a player that was in our academy for years. So I think that would have been a better option, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. We have an update regarding the Gini Wijnaldum situation as well. Sky Sports have reported that the midfield is happy at Anfield and would like to stay at Liverpool for as long as possible. As we know, his contract's up in 18 months. We discussed that in my previous video. But as I mentioned just before, Sky Sports are reporting that the midfielder feels he's at the best club in the world. He's not wrong. And the plans are in the pipeline for talks on a new deal. Makes sense to me. As I mentioned yesterday, it was highly likely that there was a contract in the pipeline for him based on just how we do business. So yeah, it's nice to see that being reported by Sky Sports. So that's the roundup of the transfer news so far. Now, out of all the transfer rumours that have come out about Liverpool in this window, linking us to the likes of Mbappe and Jadon Sancho, etc., why am I going to talk about Todd Cantwell? Purely realism. He's a realistic target for us, and more importantly, he fits in with our policy of buying good young players cheap and developing them, and either having them become world-class players for us or selling them for a profit. So the links to the player were reported by The Athletic a couple of days ago with David Ornstein again. Now, Todd Cantwell is highly rated, and he's being looked at by a number of Premier League clubs. That includes the likes of Leicester, includes the likes of Arsenal, Tottenham. So far this season, he's played 21 games in the league, 4 of them as a substitute, but it's 21 appearances. He scored 6 goals for the Canaries, and he's got 2 assists. He plays mainly on the wide left, but he's got his he also plays on the right as well, so there's a bit of versatility for him. Fit well in with our front line, I think, based on his style of play. Now, according to Who Scored, I've had a little look into his stats as well in regards to this. His strengths are passing, which is quite key to our forward line. Loves a through ball, and he loves holding up the ball as well, which is good for our attacking play, because we know we like rapid runs. As soon as we are breaking forward, our front three, they're swarming towards that box, packing as many bodies in as they can, looking for the passes, looking for the crosses across. Yeah, so that style of play, those strengths would benefit him in our team. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm not saying this is a signing we could make today and he'd fit in our first team. The lad's 21. He's not going to be anywhere near good enough for our first team straight away, but as a prospective buy for the future, this is a good signing as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. One of his weaknesses, he's not a prolific crosser, which in our front line isn't a big deal because our front players don't really cross. I mean, obviously there'll be occasions where they do, but our crossers, that's Robbo, that's Trent, and yeah. Now, furthermore into that, yeah, he also enjoys a short passing play, which, you know, when our players are in the box, we try and get it out wide to Trent or Robbo, and then try and whip a cross in. If the cross isn't on, we'll play back to the midfielders, who will then try and play a ball to Bobby to lay off, or they'll try and play through one of the front players. And that often includes a good chain of quick, short passing, which is a strength of his. So that's something that fits into our system. And I think a key thing with buying these players is you need to buy players that have the attributes that will make them an asset to this team. And based on his style of play, he's somebody who would already basically know what he's doing in our system. Obviously, you need to be drilled and learn the tactics and learn his exact role, but what he's shown at Norwich already shows that he does have the ability to play in our system. Also, he's one of the most fouled players in the Premier League. He draws 1.7 fouls a game. Now, if he's going to be in our front three, at the tight front three, that like to run in the box, close ranks when we attack, draw defenders in, he's going to be drawing fouls. He's going to be winning free kicks. He's going to be winning penalties, and that's only a good thing for the team, as long as it's legitimate. If he's diving, no. In regards to his numbers so far this season, according to WhoScored.com, I'm going to link all this in the description below as well. According to WhoScored, he's put up similar numbers to Harry Wilson, who, as you're aware, is a Liverpool player, youngster, on loan at Bournemouth. Now, why am I going to compare him to Harry Wilson? Harry Wilson's a player I rate quite highly, and I've been very impressed with his performances at Bournemouth so far. Harry Wilson prefers playing on the right, Cantwell plays on the left, so there isn't really a conflict there. There's no, do you know what I mean? Like, signing Cantwell doesn't put Wilson out. So, yeah. As I mentioned earlier, Cantwell's played 21 games so far for Norwich this season, scoring 6 goals and getting 2 assists. Now, Wilson's played 17 games, scoring 6 as well, so he scored more in less games, but he doesn't have any assists. He's also, Harry Wilson is managing more shots per game. He's managing 1.9 shots per game to Cantwell's 1.3. Now, I think with Harry Wilson being like effectively a dead ball specialist at this point, he's got a wicked free kick, wonder foot, gets that ball in the top corner. Among one of the best in the league as far as I'm concerned. That's probably influencing that statistic, but it's still a decent statistic for a lad of his age who's not really getting a lot of game time compared to, you know, Premier League starting players. Now, Cantwell's only managing 1.3, but once again, he doesn't take free kicks for Norwich. So Cantwell's also making 1 key pass per game, compared to Wilson's 0.5, and once again, I think that's to do with Cantwell being more of an inside forward to Wilson's winger. I'd say Wilson definitely more of a winger, and Cantwell's more of an inside forward. So they are looking stat-wise quite similar, and I'm impressed with how Harry Wilson's been, and I've also been impressed with Cantwell. Now, we're talking about the sordid topic of coin and money and fees for the player. I can imagine it being similar to what Leicester City paid for James Maddison, plus a little bit extra because we are Liverpool FC and we are champions of the world. Now, Leicester paid 22.5 million for Maddison according to Transfermarkt, so I imagine Cantwell costing us around 30 million because prices have gone up a bit. We are the champions of the world. We've got a lot more money than Leicester, and Norwich are going to want to try and milk as much as they can out of a potential transfer for Cantwell, particularly with them looking to be going down as they are bottom of the league. That fee, that would be roughly a third of what we'd be looking to pay for Jadon Sancho. Now, obviously, Sancho's a far superior player. I am in no way comparing Todd Cantwell's ability to Jadon Sancho's because they're just not even in the same league. Literally not even in the same league. One's in the Bundesliga, one's in the Prem. But for a third of the price, we're going to be getting a young, Prem-proven player with a big future in front of him and potentially also stop our rivals getting hold of this player. And he is going to be a good, he could be a good player for us, and he could definitely be someone who a lot of the big teams would love to have in their side, and I'd rather that big team be us. Yeah, that's it really. So yeah, that's what I think about the Cantwell transfer. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying what I'm doing. There's also the Gini Wijnaldum video from yesterday, which is not yesterday, the day before, which is kind of redundant now because I've just debunked the whole rumour. But yeah, if you want to go and watch that, feel free. I think I raised a couple of good points about why I would potentially want to leave, but that appears to all be nonsense now anyway. Once again, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think below. Let me know what you think about Brewster going to Swansea. Let me know what you think of Allan and the deal we've hashed out with Atletico Mineiro for him. Yeah, so thanks for your time, and I hope you have a lovely week. Bye-bye.